What's going on YouTube? Tim back again, and today we've got another spinner review. This time it's the Valkyrie by Alpha-Bot. Roll the intro. Roll the intro. Oh, dang it. This isn't Dave's World, this is Hobby Timmy. I don't have an intro. Well, I guess we'll just take a look at this spinner. So we do have the Alpha-Bot by Valkyrie, or the Valkyrie by Alpha-Bot. Let's get that right. Let's put it back in its box. We just wanted to start a little spinning. Just a little shout out to Dave's World. Love you, Dave. Kisses. Best voice on YouTube. He's got a nice audio setup. I don't know what he's doing. He's not shooting outside off his phone trying to avoid the wind noise that we're probably going to get today, so I apologize in advance for that. But yeah, we got the Alpha-Bot Valkyrie. So this is one that I know a lot of people out there love. They got some fans. They got this cool little info guide. I haven't really seen anything like this, which actually kind of tells you how to flick. But I'm reminded of Carl from Aqua Teen Hunger Force when he says, I don't need instructions on how to rock, when he gets that foreigner belt. We have the foreigner belt. Anyway, if you get that reference, sweet. If you don't, check out Aqua Teen Hunger Force on Adult Swim. Kind of old at this point, but so am I. So anyway, nice little tin, nice little setup. Decent little spinner. So yeah, these guys, this is the first version. So they've got this full-size one, then they've kind of updated it a little bit, and then since then they've come out with a Mark II. Now the only difference that as far as I'm aware in the first version and the second version of the full size is I believe they worked on some of the machining marks in here, which some people thought looked a little, I don't know, sad. I'm not sure. They use a 5-axis milling machine, which I don't really know what that means, but I guess it lets them do some other things with their finishing that other machines don't really do as well. But I think they rounded the edges off on this a little bit more, because I guess you can feel a little bit of a hot spot in there if you really try, but it hasn't been an issue with spinning. So, but there she is, the Valkyrie by Alpha-Bot. Another thing, and I don't know if it's on just the Mark IIs, which are the smaller ones, or the second version of this, but the little Alpha-Bot logo that's laser engraved on this one, the bot's the same size, or same side, like he's facing up there, and he's facing up there, and the other one, it reverses, which I guess depending on your OCD is either nice or it's not nice, because that means no matter what, you get a face that's facing up, or you get a face that's facing down. You know, so if you want them both facing the same way versus always having one up, always having one down, who knows? Anyway. But what can we say about this guy? So, you know, again, like I said, a lot of people love these guys. They're probably also most notable for their bearings. They've got some great stainless steel bearings with some really good spin times, especially for stainless steel. Probably the best spin times I've seen out of a straight up stainless steel bearing out there. And mine weren't even as good as what I'm seeing other people get. So, I guess we'll get spin time out of the way in this bad boy. Table spin, 8 minutes 56 seconds, I believe. Pretty good for a table spin. And then vertical spin, 9 minutes and 36. And I didn't switch out the bearing, I didn't clean it. I think you can get more out of that. Here comes the wind. I think you can get more out of that. Whoa! She just picked up out of nowhere. You guys doing all right? I don't know if I can really shield the mic so that you don't really hear that. I should put my hand here. I think she can definitely get better spin times. You know, if I put in a really high-end hybrid ceramic, I think we can do even better. But those are pretty respectable spin times, and this is known for it. And it is one of those ones, especially at low speeds. You know, so let me just show you where the balance is at. When a spinner spins and spins and spins at low speeds, it usually has really good balance because it doesn't have to fight its own weight coming up and then swing back down. So if you give this guy just a real gentle little touch, look, it just goes. Oh, is it gonna stop? No. I just barely touched it, y'all. I hardly even, there she goes, right? Like with the lightest of touches, she goes pretty good. So spin time demon, spin time beast. So finish wise, I started talking about this bit here. You know, it's got a nice little brushed finish. There's something about that wind noise, something about the design aesthetically of this guy that it just really, I'll be honest, didn't really do it for me. That's why it took so long for me to get one of these. And you know, for me personally, I can see why a lot of people like it, but at the same time, for me, this, you know, we're gonna cut ahead here a little bit, but this isn't really a spinner for me. So we'll kind of get into why that is. I think the smaller version may very well be for me, but there's something about this guy that, as far as a bar goes, it's a large bar. A large bar. I mean, look at the size of this guy. You know, we're just about 2 3/4 inches, maybe over. So pretty large spinner as far as long spinners go, or as far as spinner arms and diameter goes. Most of the time you're looking between probably closer to 2 1/4, 2 1/2. Anything under 82.6 grams, so she's got a decent weight. anything under 2 inches starts to get into small spinner range, and then anything under like that 1.5 inches, you're really looking at micro spinner, in my opinion. So, but I don't think anybody's ever set what they are. But for me, there's a couple things fidgeting wise with this that does not appeal to me. I don't actually mind the bar judder, J-U-D-D-E-R, side to side that much. But I know a lot of people do. You know, that's one of the things with bars that people don't like, and this one's got it in spades. I mean, this one just, you move this side to side, you really feel it. Like, it's got bar judder probably more than just about any other bar that I've handled and played around with. You know, it's long with a lot of its weight thrown to the outside, so. It does have nice rounding here, so ergonomically this thing is fine in terms of, like, you don't really have hot spot issues or anything like that, but you do have a lot of that judder. You also, there's something about this bar, and this is kind of why I think I didn't like bars to begin with, and why the Grave Raven kind of turned me around, is that it's real easy for it just to be spinning and for it to miss, for your finger to kind of not run into anything. You know, you go to give it a spin and, like, it's just not in position, and it's kind of hard and kind of awkward to, oh, there, now we got into position for a good throw. It does spin really well once you get it into position, but it's one of those ones, if I'm trying to mindlessly fidget with it, I don't find it that well. I really have to put attention into getting my fingers into a position to fidget with it. It just isn't there for me. It suffers. It's got like the worst negatives of a bar spinner for people that don't like bars. Now, if you like a bar, you probably like a lot of that, and again, they do have a lot of fans, and I know a lot of people really like these, so this is more, I think functionally it's exactly what it is and what it should be and what they were going for. But for me, you know, I think I would like the Mini a lot more for some of the reasons that I don't really like this. Again, I think it's mostly that just the fidget factor on this for me just isn't really quite there. If I'm doing a lot of this back and forth and kind of winding it up and winding it back, then my finger finds something. But if I'm coming from a stop and I go to stop it and start again, not like interrupt it mid-spin like this, right? We're not really trying to stop it, position it, and spin it. I'm just spinning it, spinning it, spinning it, spinning it. But even then, like, it's spinning pretty fast, and my finger, like, look, I did, look at that. You see that? You see how many times I went through and didn't hit anything? Like, my finger just breezed right through without touching anything. So that's my problem with this guy. It's an all well and good spinner, but for me, again, I think it's the smaller size that would do it for me. So I apologize to any Alpha-Bot fans. And it seems like they're doing a really good thing over there. I do want to say a couple things about the company. They have really good open communication with the community. They had an issue when they first came out. They were selling this on Amazon and through their website. They had a bunch of crap with Amazon. They were real. I don't think they got into a lot of the exact specifics of their problem with Amazon, but they were having Amazon fulfillment issues. They put a lot of info out there. They stopped working with Amazon. They worked with the people that were getting, I guess, either screwed over or having issues with their Amazon fulfillments. They're really good about communicating what they're working on, what they're doing, what's coming out next. They had a Cerakote version of their Mini, and they had issues where the Cerakote wasn't applied correctly in necessarily all cases. They proactively reached out before anybody even made a deal. You know, they got out ahead of it. They didn't try to, like, hide it or cover it up. So I really appreciate and like what they're doing over there. So, you know, as a company, they're really good. And again, as a spinner, this is really good, but this comes down to, for me, this isn't a spinner for me. So when it comes down to recommendation, can I recommend this? If you like big old heavy, relatively speaking, bar spinners, you're going to like this guy. If you like that feedback, you like that judder, if you're a fan of the bars, this is going to do it for you. I do like some of that stuff, but this is just kind of amplified to a level which for me isn't as fun to fidget with. So if you like bars, and now I haven't handled the Mini, but I get the feeling on what I've handled and looking at the Mini and looking at this and what I know, I feel like that Mini, or I think they could just call it the Mark II, is really the sweet spot and where you want to be. So anything else we want to say? I think we covered it all. Yeah, good company, good quality made spinner. Yeah, if you like that sort of thing, you know, for me, it's I got to give it the 1.5. I got to give it the 1 thumbs up, the 1 thumbs down. For me, it isn't a spinner for me. If you want to buy this from me, chat me. We can work something out. But again, it is a quality piece for those that like it, and there's a reason that they like it. You know, it's almost dead smooth. It's like perfect. Did I show that? I think I showed the balance. Right, it's like almost like perfectly balanced. It's like, it's well machined, especially for a bar this big and this heavy. To have that kind of like perfect balance is tough. So good on you. So the Valkyrie by Alpha-Bot. Roll the intro. Still waiting on that intro. Oh, you know what I should do? I'm not going to cut this, although Dave would. Button 1, button 2, and there we see the standard retention ring. We'll put it back on button 1, button 2. All right. Love you, Dave, and everybody else on the internet. Kisses.